No matter what your personal opinion of police officers is, we can all agree that if we need them or we're in trouble or need protection, we want them to be there. We can also agree that their job is very dangerous. We know in the news that we lose officers every year. But that's the job that they chose. They signed up to wear the badge. And maybe it's because they like the authority that goes behind it. Maybe they're on a power trip. Maybe they're good guys. But regardless, they signed up for it. Now let's talk about those of us who are behind the badge. The cops' wives that are behind the badge. We didn't choose the profession. We chose the man. But yet we live the same life they do. I'm going to give you some insight that will hopefully open your eyes and possibly even humanize police officers if your opinion of them is negative. I'll start with a story. Mike and I had been dating for just a couple of weeks. And you know how it is when you're in that new phase. You know, I like you, but I don't like you, and you have to play all the games at first. He sent me a text one day while I was at work. Keep in mind, I'm a nurse. And it just said, gearing up for a SWAT call. Call you later. I was so excited when I got that. More for myself, because I couldn't wait to talk to my girlfriends about my boyfriend, the SWAT officer. It sounded so cool. And yes, I fell for the man in the uniform. That all changed about 9 o'clock that night, when I still hadn't heard from him. I turned on the TV, and nothing was on the TV, and I instantly found myself thrown into a world that I had no idea what I was doing. I knew instantly that this was going to be a different relationship that I had ever been in before. He finally called the next day, and while I was thankful to hear his voice and glad that he wasn't killed, I told him that if we were going to continue this relationship, whether as friends or more, if he was going on a SWAT call or any other type of call, and he told me that he was going to call me back, he better call me back, or at least text message me. Because it's not right to leave me in the dark like that. We came up with a code word that we still use today. Whenever he goes out into the field or runs a warrant or any other type of dangerous situation that he's in, he has to send a text when he's done that says, "It's all good in the hood." I don't know why. That's our coin phrase, but that's our coin phrase. I remember being engaged for 3 months, and we were out to eat with another law enforcement couple, and the girlfriend of the cop, of our friend, said, "You know, I don't know what you think you're doing. You know, the divorce rate is upwards towards like 75, 80, 90, 100%. And I kind of looked at her like she had lost her mind, because my cop was absolutely great. But I started to do some research, and I have found that there are several studies that show that the divorce rate among police officers is upwards towards 70 to 80%. This alone is enough to make or break a relationship. Even getting past the divorce rate, I'll tell you that to be a cop's wife, it means dinner is not necessarily at dinner time. It may be lunchtime. It may be breakfast. It just depends on his shift. Holidays are not necessarily spent on the same day as everybody else's holiday. We celebrate Christmas when we can. We celebrate Thanksgiving when we can. And this has become our new normal. I've also learned that the most beautiful sound to my ear is the garage door opening. It used to be Backstreet Boys, and now it's the sound of the garage door opening and Velcro. Yes, Velcro. I live for the sound of Velcro, because that means that he's home and he's taking his duty belt off and he's safe. Also, I've had to learn that I can't keep SpaghettiOs in the house for my kids. My husband once pulled a baby out of a pool, and in doing so, had to perform CPR, and the baby aspirated and started vomiting SpaghettiOs. He's never been the same from that day forward. He also can't sit with his back facing the door. If we go out to eat, I have to ensure that he can face the doorway, because he always has to have his guard up. He can never let his guard down. So all of these are now our new normal. I will also tell you, though, that while I have planned his funeral several times in the middle of the night, worried that he's not coming home, every morning I make sure I kiss him goodbye and tell him how much I love him, because I know that every day it could be our last. We also have wills. I'm barely 30 years old, and we have a will. But that's something that you have to have when you're a law enforcement family. Our kids know how much he loves them. He makes sure that he tells them that every day. We make sure that we never let anything go unspoken, and we have to live day by day. I will tell you, though, that I am proud to be a law enforcement officer's wife. I know that, God forbid, anything happened to him, that I could speak to the media, I could speak at his funeral and know that he went going the exact way he wanted to. And all of these new normals that we've had to endeavor and learn and are sometimes annoying. I hate math homework, but I have to be the one to do math homework with my son most of the time because he's not home. I hate math homework. All of these new normals and all of these selfish things that we find ourselves having, at the end of the day, I know that the world is a much better place for everybody with people like my husband out there protecting us. My hopes are that I've given you some insight. I've shed some light on what goes on when the uniform comes off. And hopefully the next time you encounter a cop, you'll cut him a break for me. Have a great day.